Kids are fine. Kids like just a monster. I know kids play travel, but they can travel basketball, travel baseball. They don't miss I get it. They want to be good.
Tracy, should I get more chairs? There aren't any. We have them all. Yeah, let me Okay, if I can have your attention, please. A couple things to know. First, the show only runs about an hour, so there will be no intermission. So if you want concessions, now's a good time to get them. If you need to use the restrooms over down by the library are open. And also, it looks like we're going to have more people than chairs. So if you are willing to sit on the floor, you will be awarded a free cookie.
We fight for her, but you wouldn't want to hear her.
Okay. This is my bald head. have a brother or sister in the show? Something tells me you're going to pee on this
Is that seat available? Oh, no, that's taken? This seat is available? Just a minute. They do have nuts in them. What? I think some coffee. You want coffee? No. You want coffee and cookies?
I'm going to try. Every time I see this, I try. The old man tries.
Like right before we left. Have you seen this? I was looking at it like I had no idea. I can't.
Split the difference between you guys. So everybody can see. Comes with perfect inside the bag.
All right, people, we've got 2 minutes until showtime. All right, people, we're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Carmel High Black Box Radio Studio. Welcome to all our listeners, our live stream listeners, and a special welcome to our live studio audience. Come on, let them hear you. Tonight's performance is the 1947 Lux Radio Theatre production of Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life. And to present that production, we have to go back to another era. We're going to do this with the help from some of the great original radio artists. So please, come with me now to the golden age of radio. Tonight, we bring you the story of a typical American. It might be you, it might be me. It's the story of George Bailey, citizen of Bedford Falls, New York. More than anything else, George wanted to see the world, the wonderful, exciting world that lay somewhere beyond the limits of his own hometown. Oddly enough, this story doesn't begin in Bedford Falls. In fact, it doesn't begin anywhere in this world.
Dear God, please look over my husband, George.
George is a good boy. You know that. He's always gone out of his way to give others a hand. Now it's him who needs
Help
the
my
help.
big brother George. He's done so much for all of us. More for me than I remember.
all the times he would stay late after work and not ask a cent. The world needs more like George Bailey.
Never thinks about himself. I wouldn't have a roof over my head
If it wasn't for him, I would have given up long ago. All I think about is myself. I must have taken the last cent he
He
had.
had no sense of business, that George Bailey. Just like his father. None of the Baileys were ever businessmen, and it's his own fault if he wasn't prepared for times like these.
I can't help but think it's all my fault. Help him, Father. It's me who's putting him through all this.
Please, God, please bring Daddy back.
Something's the matter with Daddy?
Should we pray for him, Mommy?
Yes, Suzu, pray. Pray very hard.
Please, God, something's the matter with Daddy. Please bring Daddy back.
Help my dad, please.
Please help George Bailey.
Please help my son.
Our story begins in heaven, where Joseph, the superintendent of all angels, has summoned an apprentice angel named Clarence.
Am I really going down to Earth, sir? Oh, how splendid!
Yes, Clarence. There's a very discouraged man down there. His name is George Bailey, and at exactly 10:45 p.m. Earth time, he will be thinking seriously of throwing away his greatest gift.
Oh no, his life?
Yes, Clarence, his life. Your job is to stop him if you can. Now please, listen quietly so I can tell you that all there is to know about George Bailey.
Sir, if I should accomplish my mission, may I perhaps get my wings? I've been waiting over 200 years now, and well, people are beginning to talk.
Clarence, what's that book you've got there?
Oh, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, sir. I was reading it when you sent for me.
A fine book, excellent. Well, you do a good job on George Bailey, and we'll see about your wings.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Now, if you're going to help George, you'll want to know a little something about him. Look, see the town?
Why? Those young boys sledding down snow cones and onto the ice. George, this is amazing. Who's that?
George Bailey. That's him when he was 12, back in 1990. Something happens here that you'll want to remember later on.
And here comes the scare baby, my kid brother Harry Bailey.
I'm not scared.
Well, come on then, Harry. Attaboy, come on. Help! Help!
Oh dear, Harry's fallen through the ice.
I got you, Harry.
So his brother fell through the ice, but George saved him.
Yes, Clarence? And ever since, George has had a bad ear. All that icy water, you understand.
Bad ear? Yes, sir.
The next event came a few months later. George took a position at Old Man Gower's drugstore.
It's me, Mr. Gower, George Bailey.
You late?
Yes, sir.
Hello, George. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Violet.
2 cents worth of shoelaces, Violet?
Mary was here first.
I'm still thinking.
Shoelaces?
Please, Georgie. I like him.
You like every boy.
What's wrong with that?
Here you are.
Bye, Georgie. See you later, Mary.
Made up your mind yet, Mary?
I'll take chocolate.
Coming right up.
Is this the bad ear you can't hear on? George Bailey, I'll love you till the day I die.
Here you go, Mary.
That day, Mr. Gower had received a telegram informing him that his only son had died of influenza. It was a terrible blow, and poor Gower tried to lose his grief in whiskey.
Where have you been, George? Miss Blaine called twice! What happened to her prescription? You lost it, didn't you?
No, Mr. Gower, I have it here, sir.
Yeah, why, you good for nothing. Don't you know the Blaine girl is very sick?
Oh, Mr. Gower, you're hurting my sword. Yeah, you're hurting it.
I'll teach you to loaf, you lazy brat.
Mr. Gower, I don't know what you're doing. You put something bad in those capsules.
Shut up!
I know that you feel bad. I saw the telegram about your son, but look at the bottle, Mr. Gower. It's poison.
Poison?
Please don't hurt my sore ear again, Mr. Gower.
Poison? Oh, George.
I will never tell, I promise.
Did he ever tell anyone about those pills?
Not a soul. Well, Clarence, that was George Bailey as a boy. When he grew up, he wanted to go to college, but there just wasn't the money. So he worked for 4 years at the Building and Loan Association.
The Building and Loan Association?
George's father was in the building and loan business, along with George's Uncle Billy.
George, what's the combination of that safe?
Oh, we wrote it down so you wouldn't forget it.
That's right. Where?
Your wallet, Uncle Billy.
Thanks.
A lovable fellow, just forgetful is all. George worked for his father, saving enough to see him through the university. That summer, though, he was going to Europe. George got a job on a cattle boat and was ready to do a little traveling before college. Old Man Gower surprised him with the gift of a great big suitcase.
Avast there, Captain Cook. You got your sea legs yet?
Don't take any wooden nickels.
On his way home from the store, he ran into his friends, Ernie the cab driver and Bert the cop.
Hey, Ernie!
Hi, George!
Hey, Bert!
Hey, George, what's the suitcase for?
Oh, I'm a rich tourist today. How about driving me home in style?
Sure, Your Highness, hop in the cab. And for the carriage trade, I put on my hat.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bailey. Looks like you're ready to get out of here.
Hey, Violet, you look good. That's some dress you got on there.
This old thing? I only wear this dress when I don't care how I look.
How would you like to...
Yes.
Want to come along, Bert? We'll show you the town.
Nah, I think I'll go home and see what the wife's doing.
Ooh, a family man.
George saved up enough money to go away to college. His bags were packed and he was all set to go.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's hard to realize it's the last night in the Bailey boarding house.
We're sure gonna miss you, George.
I'm gonna miss you too, Pop. What's the matter? You look tired.
Oh, I had another tussle with old Henry Potter today.
I
I thought when we put him on the board of directors, he'd ease up on us.
I wonder what's eating that old money-grubbing buzzard anyway.
Oh, he's a sick man. Frustrated and sick. Sick in his mind, sick in his soul, if he has one. Hates anybody that has anything he can't have. Hates us, mostly, I guess.
Hey, George, can I borrow your tuxedo socks?
Yeah, help yourself there.
Where are they? In your suitcase?
Oh, no, I'm not gonna need a tuxedo on the cattle boat, you know.
Where'd you get that suitcase anyway?
Well, Mr. Gower gave it to me as a going-away present. One of these days, you're gonna see that suitcase covered in travel stickers. It's gonna have Italy on it, and Baghdad, and Samarkand.
So you're gonna have a pretty full summer, George.
Well, I'm gonna have a pretty full life, I think.
Why don't you come by the dance tonight?
Oh, wasn't he bored to death?
Well, you couldn't want a better death. Lots of pretty girls there. Hey, I gotta go.
I wish we could send Harry to college with you, George.
Well, now we got that all figured out, Pop. He's gonna take over my job at the building and loan, work for 4 years, just like I did. Then he's gonna go to school.
Well, he's pretty young for that job.
Well, no, he's no younger than I was.
Maybe you were born older, George.
Huh?
George, when you get out of college, I don't suppose you'd consider coming back to the building and loan.
Oh, Pop, no, I just couldn't do that. I just couldn't face being cooped up for the rest of my life in that shabby little office in that... I'm sorry, Pop, I didn't mean that. It's just, I mean, it's this business of nickels and dimes, and you know I'd go crazy. I mean, I want to do something big. I want to do something important.
Well, in a small way, we are doing something important. George, in that shabby little office, we help people figure out how they can own their own homes.
I know, Pop, and I just wish, you know, I feel that, look, if I don't get away, I'm just gonna bust.
Yes, all right, boy. You get yourself an education and you get out of here.
Hey, Pop, you want a shock? I think you're a pretty great guy.
Well, thanks, George. I'm glad to hear it. Look, why don't you go on to Harry's dance? You have yourself a good time.
Nah, no, I don't know. Maybe I will drop by. Maybe I will at that.
So George Bailey went to the dance. Is that important?
Well, it was at the dance that he ran into Mary Hatch, all grown up now.
Ooh.
And 3 hours later, he was walking her home. George and Mary were feeling pretty good, Clarence. As a matter of fact, they were feeling wonderful.
Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? Come out tonight! Come out tonight! Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon. God, that was really great.
Thank you.
Oh boy, you know, it was like a beautiful organ or something. Gee whiz, you know, if it wasn't me talking, I'd say you were the prettiest girl in the town.
Well, why don't you say it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I will. Say, how old are you anyway?
18.
18. Huh.
Too young or too old?
No, it's just about right. It sort of suits you. Hey, look where we are.
Oh, the old Granville house.
Yeah, I gotta throw a rock.
Oh, no, George, I love that old house.
Well, don't you know about deserted houses? You make a wish and then you throw a rock.
Oh, but George, it's such a lovely old place.
What?
I want to live there someday.
You want to live in there? I wouldn't live in that. As a ghost, I wouldn't live in that. No, just come on. Watch this. Here we go. Whoa.
Good shot.
Look at that. I guess I broke that window, didn't I?
You sure did. Well, what did you wish for?
Well, I don't know. You know, in fact, I didn't wish for one wish. I wished for a whole hatful. Now, Mary, I'm going to shake the dust of this crummy little town off my boots, and I'm going to see the world. I'm going to see Italy and Greece and the Parthenon, the Colosseum. Then I'm going to come back here and go to college, see what they know. I'm going to study real hard, and then I'm going to build things. I'm going to build airfields. I'm going to build skyscrapers 100 stories high and bridges a mile long. And hey, now, Mary, what is it you want? I mean, do you want the moon? Do you want the moon, Mary? Because all you have to do is say so.
Okay, the moon, I'll take it. Then what?
Well, I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down, and you could swallow it and it would dissolve, like an aspirin, and then moonbeams would shoot out the tips of your fingers and out the ends of your hair. I don't know, am I talking too much?
Yes! Why don't you just kiss her instead of talking her to death?
Hey, who is that up there?
Youth is wasted on the wrong people.
Hey, just wait a minute, mister. You come back here, I'll show you some kissing that'll put hair back on your head.
George, get in the car, quick. Your father's had a stroke.
What?
George, get in, quick.
I've got to go.
Well, George's father died that night, Clarence. So, of course, George didn't go to Europe. In that fall, just as he was getting ready to leave for college, the Building and Loan held a meeting. They were going to appoint a successor to George's father.
What's that? What's that you said, Mr. Potter?
I said that as long as Peter Bailey is dead, we dissolve the Building and Loan. The town doesn't need it.
Now, wait a minute.
No, you wait a minute. Peter Bailey was not a businessman, and ideals without common sense can ruin a town. What do we get? A bunch of discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class.
You gotta hold on a minute there, Mr. Potter. Just hold on.
Now, I mean no disrespect, George, but...
Now, just wait a minute. I mean, now why my father ever started this cheap penny-ante building alone, I'll never know. But just remember this, that rabble that you're talking about, there's most of the working and the paying and the living and the dying in this community. Well, is it so much to have them work and pay and live and die in a couple decent rooms and a bath? Anyways, my father didn't think so. People were human beings to him. But to you warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. And well, in my book, Mr. Potter, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
Well, I'm not concerned with your book, George. I'm talking about the Building and Loan.
You're talking about something you can't get your fingers on. Well, this town needs a measly one-horse institution for it to have some place where people can borrow a few dollars without crawling to you. Now, come on, Uncle Billy, let's get out of here.
Well, what happened, George?
Oh boy, Tilly, you should have seen George.
You know, they're voting us out of business.
Who cares? I can get a new job. Now we get out of here, George. You missed your boat to Europe. Do you want to miss college, too?
George, we just voted Potter down. You're still in business.
Whoopee! We're still in business!
There is one condition, George. They have appointed you to take your father's place.
Oh, George.
No, I'm going to college. See? This is my last chance. Now, Uncle Billy, he's your man here.
George, you've got to take it. They will vote with Potter otherwise.
Oh, I know. George did not get to go to college.
That's right, Clarence. He gave all of his money to Harry instead.
And what about Mary? What happened to Mary? You know, the good-looking girl?
Oh, George saw her now and then. Not very often, though, because she went away to college, too. So George had to wait 4 more years to wait for Harry to come back and take over the Building and Loan. He still had his dream of seeing the world, except when Harry came home, he wasn't alone. He had a girl with him, his wife.
Well, if it isn't George Geographic Explorer Bailey. Uncle Billy, you haven't changed a bit.
Nobody changes around here. You know that.
Oh, am I glad to see you?
Say, where's Mother?
Well, she's home, cooking the fatted calf. Come on, let's go.
Wait. This is Ruth Dakin.
Ruth Dakin Bailey, if you don't mind.
Huh? Well, I wired you I had a surprise. Here she is. Meet the wife.
Well, what do you know? Wife.
What? How do you do? Congratulations! Harry, why didn't you tell somebody? What's a pretty girl like you doing marrying this two-headed brother of mine?
Well, I'll tell you. It's purely mercenary. My father offered him a job.
Oh, he gets a job. And you? Harry's cup runneth over. Come on, Ruth, let's start ahead and leave the bags to the fellas.
All right.
George, about that job. Ruth spoke out of turn. I never said I'd take it. You've been holding the bag here for 4 years and, well, I won't let you down.
It's all right, Harry. It's all right.
And that night, the homecoming for Harry became his wedding party.
George?
I'm out here on the porch, Mother, trying to get some air.
Well, how do you like your new sister-in-law?
Ah, she's swell.
She looks like she could keep Harry on his toes.
Yeah, and she can keep him out of Bedford Falls.
What do you mean?
Ruth's father offered Harry a wonderful job up in Buffalo.
Buffalo? Oh, that means that you...
Yep.
Oh, George. Say, did you know that Mary Hatch is back from school?
Hmm? Oh, yeah.
Nice girl, Mary.
Uh-huh.
Oh, stop grunting, George. Give me one good reason why you shouldn't give Mary a call.
Sam Wainwright. Sam's crazy about Mary.
Well, she's not crazy about
Well,
him.
now how do you know that? Did she discuss it with you?
Besides, Sam's away in New York.
Oh, I see. So all's fair in love and war, huh?
Well, I don't know about war.
Okay, Mother. Okay. I think I'll just go out and I'll find that girl and I'll do a little passionate necking.
Oh, George, just stop that.
Well, good night, Mrs. Bailey. And by the way, you want any books at the public library?
Library? Oh, George, you go see Mary now. Do you hear me? You go. Oh, goodness sakes alive.
Excuse me, I think I got a date.
Hey, wait a minute.
But stick around, fellas, just in case, huh?
We'll wait for you, baby. Hello, Georgie Porgy.
Hello, Violet.
What gives?
Nothing.
Where you going?
Well, I'll probably end up down at the public library.
Don't you ever get tired of just reading about things?
Yes. What are you doing tonight?
Nothing.
Oh, are you game, Violet? Let's make a night of it.
I would love it, Georgie. What do we do?
Let's go in the field and take off our shoes and walk in the grass.
Huh?
Then we can go up to the falls. It's beautiful in the moonlight, and there's a green pool up there, and we can swim in it. Then we can climb Mount Bedford and smell the pines and watch the sun rise up against the peaks. We can stay up there all night, and people will talk. There'll be a terrific scandal.
Georgie, have you gone crazy? Walk in the grass in my bare feet? Why, it's 10 miles up to Mount Bedford.
Just forget the whole thing.
George, that you down there?
Hello, Mary.
Are you coming in?
See, I just happened to be passing by here.
Oh, I thought you were picketing. Have you made up your mind?
About what?
About coming in. Your mother just phoned. She said that you were coming over.
My mother just phoned? Why is she calling here? I just happened to be passing by, it's all.
Well?
I'll come in for a minute. I felt like I'm going for a walk to you, so someone making a... Oh. When'd you get back?
Tuesday.
Where'd you get that dress?
Do you like it?
It's alright. I still can't understand why my mother called you. I didn't tell her I was coming over here, you know that.
Would you rather leave?
No, I wouldn't want to be rude like that. I'll just sit down here for a little while.
It's nice about your brother Harry getting married, isn't it?
Yeah, sure it is.
Don't you like his wife?
Well, of course I like her. She's a peach. She's swell.
So it's just marriage in general that you're not enthusiastic about.
No, now see, marriage now. That's alright for a lot of people. It's alright for Harry and for Sam and for you.
Mary! Mary, who's down there?
It's George Bailey, Mother.
What's he want?
I don't know. What do you want?
I don't know. I don't want a thing, not a thing. I just came in to get warm.
He's making violent, passionate love to me, Mother.
Well, you just tell him to go right back home. Sam's calling you tonight from New York, isn't he?
Yes, I guess so. George, would you like to hear some music?
Yeah, sure, yeah. You know, your mother needs... I didn't come here tonight to look.
Why did you come here?
Well, I don't really know. I mean, you're supposed to have all the answers. Why don't you tell me?
Well, why don't you just go home?
Well, I will. So I don't know why I came here in the first place. So, all right, good night then.
Good night.
All right.
Telephone Mary.
I mean, the way you're shouting at me, George, it seems that one would
You
think
think
that
what?
Mary!
All right, I'll get it. George, on the way out, would you mind turning off the phonograph?
I'd be very happy to do that. It's a doggone crazy song anyway.
Hello?
Hee-haw.
Sam?
Mary, gee, it's good to hear your voice.
I was just, talking to an old friend of yours, George Bailey.
We'll put him on. I'll talk to him, too.
Oh, wait a second. George, Sam wants to talk to you.
He doesn't want to talk to George.
He does so, Mother. He asked for him.
But why'd you call me? I'm in a hurry here, and
Sam wants to talk to you.
Hey, Sam?
Tell Mary to get on the extension upstairs.
He says for you to get on the extension upstairs.
I can't. Mother's on the extension.
I am not.
We can both hear from here, George. Just put your head a little closer.
Hello, Sam.
Hey, a fine pal you are trying to steal my gal.
What do you mean? No one's trying to steal your gal.
I have a big deal coming up that's going to make us all rich. George, do you remember that time you told me all about making plastic out of soybeans?
Soybeans, yeah.
Well, Father's checked into it, and he's going to put up a factory. How do you like that?
A factory, huh?
And here's the point, George. I may have a job for you, unless you're still married to that old broken town building and loan. Oh, and Mary.
I'm here.
Listen, you tell that guy I am giving him the chance of a lifetime.
Sam says he's giving you the chance of a life.
Give me the phone.
Here's George again, Sam.
No, listen to me, Mary Hatch. I don't want a job, right? I don't want to eat soybeans and plastics, and I don't want to get married ever. You understand that? I mean, I want to do what I want to do, and you're not gonna... Mary!
George.
Mary, I love you.
I love you too, George.
Well, well, so Mary Hatch and George Bailey got hitched, huh?
Yes, Clarence. They got married and they started off on their honeymoon in Ernie Bishop's taxi cab.
Hey, where are you two going on your honeymoon, huh?
Well, we got $2,000, Ernie. We're gonna shoot the works.
Yeah.
Got a whole week in New York, a whole week in Bermuda.
What?
Yeah, the highest hotel, the oldest champagne, the hottest music, and I got the prettiest wife.
So you're finally getting out of bed for falls, huh? Then what?
After that, who cares?
You know, Mrs. Bailey, I think I ought to kiss you.
Hey, George, there's something funny going on over there at the building alone. Eesh, if I were a betting man, I'd say it looks like a run.
Hey, pull over here a minute, will you, Ernie?
Sure.
Oh, George, let's not stop, please.
No, just wait a minute here. I won't take very long. I'll be right back.
George, please.
George? George!
Poor George Bailey. He's certainly in desperate trouble, Joseph. I'll go to him at once.
Now wait a moment, Clarence. George and Mary had just started off on their honeymoon when they ran right smack into the financial panic of 1932. In the waiting room of the building alone, 100 frantic people were clamoring for their savings.
Come on,
What happened to all these people out here?
Oh, we're in a pickle. A real pickle, George. All I know is the bank called in our loan an hour ago, and I had to hand over all our cash.
Holy mackerel! Our charter says we have to stay open until 6 o'clock.
Well, how are we going to stay open without any money?
Well, I gotta go out and talk to those people. Come on.
George,
How about our money, George?
We want our money.
Come on now, folks, please. Just wait a minute. See, your money's not here. It's in other people's houses. It's in the Kennedy's house. It's in the McLaren house. It's in your house. It's in 100 other houses. What are you gonna do? Foreclose on all those?
I've got $242 in Bailey Brothers shares. Now let me have it.
Well, all right, Charlie. You'll get your money in 60 days.
60 days?
60 days. That's what you agreed on when you bought your shares.
Hey, I got my money. Old man Potter's taking over the bank, and he'll pay 50 cents on every dollar.
Folks, please, I beg of you, don't do this. Don't you see? If Potter gets a hold of your shares, he'll control the building alone. You see, he's got the bank, he's got the bus line, he's got the department stores, and now he's after us. And why is that? That's because he wants you living in his shacks and paying the kind of rent that he decides to charge. Now, we can get through this thing, all right? But we gotta stick together, all right? We've gotta have faith in one another.
My husband is out of work. We need money.
I got doctor bills to pay.
I can't feed my kids on faith.
George, wait! We still have our honeymoon money. How much do you need?
Mary, look. Oh, you're wonderful. Hang on here, folks. Listen, I got $2,000 here. Charlie, how much do you need?
$242.
Charlie, please now. Just enough to tide you over.
I said $242.
Okay. Uncle Billy, give Charlie $242. Ed, now how much do you need just to get by?
Well, I was kind of hoping that. I guess $20 would be just fine.
$20. Now we're talking. Now, Mrs. Thompson, how about you?
But it's your own money, George.
Never mind that. How much do you want, Mrs. Thompson?
Could I have $17.50?
Bless your heart, of course you can have it. Uncle Billy, give us $17.50. Pay it back when you can. Now, all right? Just pay it back when you can. Now, who's next? Uncle Billy, look at the clock. Do you see it? 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1, 6 o'clock. We made it. Lock that door, cousin Tilly, quick. Uncle Billy was still in business. We even have $2 left. Oh.
Bailey Brothers. George, there's a call for you.
That's okay. Just call my wife. Will you, Tilly? She's probably over at my mother's.
Mrs. Bailey's on the line.
No, I don't want to talk to Mrs. Bailey. I want to talk to Mrs. Bailey. Oh, Mrs. Bailey, that's my wife. Give me the phone. Mary, hello. Listen, I'm really sorry that I was... No, what? Come home? What home? 320 Sycamore. Whose house is that? What? Well, how can... All right, sure. I'll be right there.
Clarence, guess what 320 Sycamore was?
His mother-in-law's house.
No. 320 Sycamore was the old Granville house. The one that George threw rocks at? The one where George and Mary made their wishes? Yes, sir. That's where they spent their honeymoon, and that's where they started their lives together. Mary made the old leaky house a home, while George toiled away at the building and loan office, providing houses for people like Giuseppe Martini.
Hey, Martini, you renting a new house?
Rent? Ha! You hear that, Mr. Bailey? I own this house. Me, Giuseppe Martini. I own my own house. No more we live like pigs in Potter's Field.
We have something for you and your family, Mr. Martini. George and I bring something for all the new owners.
For the Martinis? Maria, come quick! Our first housewarming gift. Bring the kids.
Bread, so that this house may never know hunger. Salt, that life may always have flavor.
And wine, that joy and prosperity may reign forever. Enter the Martini Castle!
Hey! Bailey houses were popping up all over the place, mostly owned by people who used to live in Pottersfield. And Potter had had just about enough of that. So after a couple of years, Old Man Potter decided to call our George into his office.
Sit down, George. Sit down. Have a cigar.
Thank you, sir.
Now, George, you're a young man, married, making, say, $40 a week at the building and loan?
45.
Oh, 45. Hey. Now, if you were some ordinary yokel, I'd say you were doing just fine. But George Bailey is intelligent and ambitious, and he hates the building and loan. Almost as much as I do. He's been dying to get out of town ever since he was a kid. But he's trapped into frittering his life away playing nursemaid to a bunch of garlic eaters. Now, George, do I paint a correct picture or do I exaggerate?
What's your point, Mr. Potter?
My point is that you're the only man in town that's ever stood up to me, George. I want to hire you to manage my affairs. I'll start you off at $20,000 a year.
$20,000? Are you sure you're talking to me, George Bailey?
Yes, I mean George Bailey, whose ship has just come in, provided he has the sense to climb aboard.
But, what about the building and loan?
Confound it, man. I'm offering you a 3-year contract at $20,000 a year. Is it a deal or isn't it?
The answer is no, doggone it. If you offered me $1 million to stay around this town and play stooge to you, the answer would still be no. Now let me alone.
George, I've been waiting up for you. What did Mr. Potter want?
Nothing. He was just talk. It's nothing, really. Mary Hatch, why'd you ever marry a guy like me, anyway?
To keep from being an old maid.
But, you know, I wanted to see the world. I was gonna build things, and I was gonna give you the moon, wasn't I? What have I given you? I haven't given you anything, not even a new dress. Not for a few months, anyway. I feel awful about that.
So do I. Especially in the morning.
Well, you could have married Sam Wainwright, someone like that, or anybody else in the town.
I didn't want to marry anybody else. And I want my baby to look exactly like you.
Well, I mean, you didn't even have a honeymoon, and I promised you that... You're what?
My baby.
Yeah. Hey, you mean you're sitting on the nest? Well, is it a boy or a girl?
Uh-huh.
Well, Mary had a baby, Clarence. A boy.
You don't say. That's nice.
Then she had another one, a girl.
Well, what do you know?
Night after night, George would come home late from the office. Things weren't so good at the building and loan. Potter was really bearing down hard on him. Then came the war, and Mary had another baby then.
Oh, they were very busy.
But she still had time to help out at the USO. Uncle Billy sold war bonds, and George's brother, Harry, became a real war hero. He shot down 15 planes.
And George? What about George?
Well, George was 4F because of his ear, but he was an air raid warden, and on VE Day he wept and prayed, and on VJ Day he wept and prayed again.
We're getting pretty close to today now, aren't we, sir?
Yes, Clarence. You now know almost everything there is to know about George Bailey.
I would think so.
Except what's happened that finds him down there at this moment wanting to die.
Well, sir, well?
Today is the day before Christmas, Earth time. George is pretty excited.
Hey, Cousin Tilly, will you just look at this newspaper? Just look at it. Commander Harry Bailey, decorated by the President. There's my kid brother receiving the Medal of Honor.
It's wonderful.
What do you think about that? He shot down 15 planes, and the last one was just about to dive into a transport that was loaded with soldiers. Man, do you know what that means? He saved lives, hundreds of lives. Gee whiz. Hey, where's Uncle Billy?
Oh, gone to the bank, depositing the $8,000.
Oh, good. Who's that lady in the office?
Oh, the bank examiner, again.
Oh, yeah. Good afternoon, Miss Vance.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bailey.
Hello, Violet.
Can I talk to you, George?
Sure, Violet. Follow me. Tilly, where you get the books from Miss Vance, and when Uncle Billy comes, you let me know.
If I had any character, I wouldn't ask you for a loan.
How much do you need?
I hate doing this to you, George, but I won't be asking for any more after this. I'm going to Manhattan.
What's in Manhattan?
Well, everything's in Manhattan. New start, at least.
That's a big step, Vi. What's the matter with starting a new life right here in Bedford Falls?
Well, never thought I'd hear that from you, George Bailey. I thought you hated this place.
I did, but this town has a charm of its own.
You should give tours, maybe.
I'm just thinking of you, Violet. Manhattan's a big place to take on your own.
I've made a decision. There's a midnight train tonight, and I plan to be on it.
It takes a lot of character to leave your hometown and start all over again. Here's some dough.
No, George, don't.
But what do you want to do? Hawk your furs and that hat? Want to walk to New York? You know, they charge for rent and feed and food, just the same they do here in Bedford Falls.
Yeah, sure.
It's a loan. That's my business, building and loan. Besides, you'll get a job. Good luck to you.
I'm glad I know you, George Bailey.
Merry Christmas, Vi.
Merry Christmas, George.
Well, Mr. Potter. How do you like the news in the paper? You just can't keep those Bailey boys down now, can you?
Let me see that newspaper.
You can keep it. Sorry I can't stay and chat, you old thief. I gotta go make a deposit.
Next.
A terrible thing happened, Clarence. A terrible thing. Uncle Billy couldn't make that deposit because the envelope with the $8,000 was folded in that newspaper he gave to Old Man Potter.
I just don't know what happened to it. I just don't know.
That's $8,000, Uncle Billy. The bank examiner is out there, and that money doesn't belong to us. It belongs to the depositors.
Well, I don't know what we're gonna do, George. I traced every step I took. Oh, I'm no good to you. I'm no good.
Well, let's go then. We have to retrace your steps. We'll leave no stone unturned.
As George and Billy went looking for the deposit, Potter had a meeting with the state bank examiner, a Miss Sadie Vance.
The whole town's turned upside down with the Bailey boys' homecoming, congressional medal and all.
I guess they do things like that.
May I look at your paper?
Go ahead.
This is a deposit from Bailey.
Yeah, that old fool Billy Bailey gave me the newspaper.
Well, you're going to deposit it for him, right, Potter?
To think he would make such a foolish mistake. Look how much it is!
There's $8,000 here!
What a Christmas present! And he doesn't even know it!
Just a minute here, Potter. I know you've been giving the Baileys a hard time far back as I can remember. Why?
I don't have to answer to you. You're just the state examiner.
Yes, I am. But I'm unimpressed by our buying off everyone in town. Oh. That's it. You can never buy the Baileys.
What?
You heard what I said. The Baileys have always stood for something you've always wanted and are so jealous of. They're honest.
You're fired!
You can't fire me. I'm staying appointed. And what's more, I'm not going to turn my back. This is stealing from the Baileys. Something like this would certainly cause them to fold.
Yes! And after 25 years, finders, keepers, you know that. It was his own fault. And besides, there is not a court in this county that would find me guilty.
And we all know why.
How's your family, Sadie?
My family?
I know how little the state positions pay. What would you say to a little Christmas bonus?
I want no part of this.
That's not what I've heard.
What are you insinuating, Potter?
I will not be turned down.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to pay the Baileys a little surprise visit. You'll see the records, they'll be short, you know the rest. And at last, the Baileys will be where they belong. Down for good!
I know just what to do.
Think. Try to think.
I can't think anymore. I can't think.
Well, where's that money, you silly old fool? Do you know what this means? It means bankruptcy, it means scandal, it means prison, and if one of us is going to jail, it's not going to be me. Now get out of my way. I'm going home.
hello, darling.
Hello, Daddy.
Daddy, did you bring the wreath?
What wreath?
Merry Christmas wreath for the window.
I left it at the office.
Is it snowing?
Yeah, just started.
Where's your coat and hat?
I left them at the office.
What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter. Everything's alright. Must she keep playing that?
I have to practice for the party tonight, Daddy.
Mommy says we can stay up until midnight and sing Christmas carols.
Can you sing, Daddy?
What is it, dear? Another hectic day at the office?
Yeah, another red letter day for the Baileys, yeah.
Excuse me.
Dad, Murphy's got a brand new car. You should see it.
Oh, really?
Excuse me.
What? Never mind. What's the matter with our car? It isn't good enough for you?
I'm sorry, Dad. I was only...
Excuse me.
Excuse you for what?
I burped.
Oh, that's okay, honey. Petey takes Zuzu upstairs and tuck her into bed.
Okay, Mom.
What's wrong with Zuzu?
Oh, well, she caught a little cold coming home from school today. She didn't button up her coat. But the doctor said it was nothing serious.
Well, the doctor? I mean, was the doctor here? It's this drafty old house. It's a wonder we don't all have pneumonia. Now, why do we have to live here in the first place and stick around this measly, crummy old town?
George, what's happened?
Everything. Everything's happened. Do you call this a happy family? I mean, why do we have all these kids?
Daddy, how do you spell frankincense?
But I don't know how. Why don't you ask your mother?
Telephone!
Hello? Oh, thank you, Mrs. Welsh. Oh, yes, the doctor says she'll be just fine by tomorrow.
You give me that phone.
George, please!
Now, Mrs. Welsh, this is Zuzu's father. Now say, what kind of teacher are you anyway? I mean, what do you mean sending Zuzu home like that, half naked? I mean, you know, she'll probably end up with pneumonia just because of your stupidity. Now, well, maybe my kids aren't the best dressed kids in town, but hello? Jane, will you stop playing the lousy piano? Cut it out!
George, for heaven's sakes, what's wrong with you?
I gotta get out of here. Please, Mr. Potter, I need your help. And I'll pay any kind of bonus on the loan. I just misplaced $8,000.
You've misplaced $8,000.
I have a life insurance policy, sir, and I.
What's your equity in it?
It's a $15,000 policy, but I only have $500 in it.
And you want $8,000?
Would you please just help me just this once?
$500. You know something, George? You're worth more dead than alive. Now get out of here. Get out!
And all that time, Potter had the $8,000 in his desk drawer. It's still there, Clarence.
That's awful, but where's George?
Well, he went over to Martini's Cafe. He's had a couple of drinks. Clarence, this is where you come in.
Dear God, oh, Father in heaven, I'm not a praying man, well, if you're up there and you can hear me, can you show me the way? Because I'm at the end of my rope. Will you show me the way, God?
Mr. Bailey, are you alright? I don't think... Don't drink no more. I don't think you'll feel so good.
Bailey? You say Bailey? Which Bailey?
That gentleman. He's Mr. Bailey. Mr. George Bailey.
George Bailey, huh?
Huh?
And the next time you talk to my wife like that, you'll get worse. It isn't enough that she slaves around every day teaching your stupid kids how to read and write. So you gotta call her up and insult her.
You get out of here, Mr. Welsh. You hit my friend. Now get out.
I am.
I said get out! Mr. Bailey, are you alright?
Who was that?
That was Mr. Welsh. But don't worry, he don't come in this place no more. Here, let me get you something for the lip. It's bleeding.
Leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
Well, George left Martini's Cafe 10 minutes ago, Clarence. He's at the river now, on the bridge looking down at the water. Are you ready, Clarence?
All ready, sir.
Save George Bailey and you will get your wings.
My wings, oh. George Bailey, get away from that bridge. Do you hear me? George!
Convinced that what Mr. Potter said was true, that he was worth more dead than alive, George Bailey finds himself standing on a bridge, staring into the dark and frigid waters below. Suddenly, there's a splash!
Help! I'm drowning! Help!
No, it's it's not George, it's Clarence, the apprentice angel. And there's George in to rescue him. It's a few minutes later now in the bridgekeeper's shack. George and Clarence are drying off.
It's kind of cold to be swimming. Are you two alright? You need a doctor?
I hope you don't mind my underwear. I didn't have any time to get anything more stylish. My wife gave me this on my last birthday. I passed away in it.
You what, mister?
Oh, I see. Tom Sawyer's drying out too.
Who?
My book. I left in such a hurry. I brought Tom Sawyer with me.
How'd you happen to fall in?
Oh, I jumped in. I jumped in to save you.
You were gonna save me.
Well, I did, didn't I? You didn't go through with it, did you?
You go through with what?
Suicide.
It's against the laws to commit suicide around here, okay?
It's against the law where I come from, too.
And where's that?
Heaven.
Oh, that's funny. That's very funny.
Your lip is bleeding, George.
Yeah, I got a good bust in the jaw in answer to a prayer. Say, how'd you know my name?
Oh, I know all about you.
Who are you anyway?
Clarence. Clarence Oddbody, AS2.
Well, what's the AS2?
Angel second class?
I'm getting out of here. You might not need a doctor, but I do.
Carry on, my good man.
Look here, why was it you wanted to save me?
Because I'm your guardian angel, George.
Oh, I see. Well, look like the kind of angel I'd get. Now, what happened to your wings?
Oh, I haven't won my wings yet. That's why I'm an angel second class. You can help me win my wings, George, by letting me help you.
Uh-huh. You don't happen to have $8,000 on you, do you?
Well, no, we don't use money in heaven.
It comes in pretty handy around here. You know, I'm worth more dead than alive.
You mustn't talk like that.
If it hadn't been for me, everybody would have been better off. My friends, my family, my wife.
Oh, this is not going to be easy.
They'd have all been better off if I had never been born.
What did you say?
I said I'd wish I'd never been born.
George, that's wonderful.
What's wonderful?
The idea that you just gave me. Well, you've got your wish. You've never been born.
I've never been born.
Exactly. No worries, no 8,000. You simply don't exist.
Hey, that bad ear of mine. Say something to that ear again, will ya?
You don't have a bad ear anymore, George. Please, try to concentrate. You're not the George Bailey that you think you are. You're nobody.
It's the darnest thing. I haven't heard of that idea since I was a kid.
And your lip has stopped bleeding, too.
Hey, what's happening around here? I need a drink. That's what I need. What about you, Angel? You want a drink?
Well, I don't quite know.
Well, let's get dressed and we'll stroll over to Martini's place and... Excuse me, I'll stroll and you'll fly.
No, I don't
Oh, that's right. You don't have your wings. Well, I forgot about that. Now, a couple of stiff drinks, we'll both fly. Clarence, welcome to the best bar in Bedford Falls.
Bedford Falls? Don't you mean Pottersville? Look, all you have, fellas.
Where's the boss, Nick? Where's Martini?
Look, wise guy, I'm the boss, see?
Okay, just give me double scotch, will ya?
Okay, what's yours?
Mulled wine, heavy on the cinnamon, light on the cloves. Step lively now.
You trying to be funny, pal?
No, he's okay. Just give him the same as mine.
Right. 2 double scotches.
No, what has happened to this place? It's all changed.
Hey, come on. What are you doing?
It's all changed, George. You're having your wish. You've never been born. You're going to see a lot of strange things now, George. Oh, good. Somebody just made it.
Made what?
Every time a bell rings, it means that some angel has just gotten their wings.
What did he say?
Don't mind him, Nick. He's just a little fellow who never grew up. How old are you, Clarence?
Well, next May I'll be 293.
That does it. Couple of pixies, huh? All right, get out of here. You heard me. Out.
Hey, what's
What are you doing? You, Rummy, didn't I tell you not to come panhandling around here?
Mr. Gower, don't you know me? I'm George Bailey.
Buy me a drink.
Get out. Go.
Oh, come on, just one drink. Pinky, throw that bum out.
Let's go.
Hey, Nick, that's Mr. Gower, the druggist.
That rumhead spent 20 years in prison for poisoning a kid. If you know him, you must be a jailbird too. Hey, Pinky, 2 more. Get him out of here. Come on,
Get up, George. It's a lucky thing he threw us in a snowbank.
Wait a minute now. What happened to Mr. Gower?
Mr. Gower doesn't know you, George. You see, you weren't there to stop him from putting the poison into that prescription.
What do you mean I wasn't there? What are you, some kind of a hypnotist?
George.
Why am I seeing all these strange things?
Don't you understand? It's because you were never born.
Well, if I were never born, then Who am I?
You're nobody. You have no identity.
What do you mean I have no identity?
No papers, no driver's license, no 4F card, no insurance
Wait a
policy.
minute. I got Zuzu's bell.
What?
I bought my little girl a bell to hang on the Christmas tree, and I've got it. Wait a minute, it's not there. It's gone. Everything's gone, isn't it?
You've been given a great gift, George. Chance to see what the world would be like without you.
You're crazy as a bedbug, and you're driving me crazy too. I'm going home to my wife and my family. You understand that? I'm going home alone too.
Stay with him, Clarence.
Oh, I will, sir. Right now, poor George Bailey is seeing Main Street the way it would have looked if he hadn't lived. The thing that's really shocked him, sir, is the Building Loan Association. Do you know what's there now? It's a pawn shop.
Well, what is he doing now, Clarence? Can you see?
He's talking to Ernie Bishop, the taxi driver. He wants Ernie to take him home.
You better stay close to him, Clarence. He's going to need you.
Oh, I will, sir.
Now, come on now, step on it. I want to go home.
Okay, where do you live, buddy?
Oh, doggone it now. Don't you stop pulling that stuff on me now, Ernie. 320 Sycamore Street.
320 Sycamore Street. Fine.
Just hurry up, will you? Zuzu's sick.
Okay, buddy. Okay.
Look, I don't know what's happened to me. I think I'm going crazy or something. Maybe I got some bad liquor or something. Look, you're Ernie Bishop, right? And you live with your wife.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You've seen my wife?
Come on, what do you mean have I seen your wife? I've been to your house 100 times. I mean, we built it for you, didn't we?
What are you talking about? My wife took off with the kids 5 years ago, and I've never seen you before in my life.
Okay, just give me home. Are you at 320 Sycamore? Mary! Mary! Janie! Petey! Zuzu!
This is just an old abandoned house, George. You have no wife, no children.
What have you done with them?
All right, up with your hands.
Bert the cop, thank heavens you're here.
Look, why don't you be a good fellow and I'll take you to the doctor.
Bert, will you listen to me, please? I mean, what's the matter with you guys? It's that fellow over there, you see him? He says he's some kind of angel and he's got me in a spell or something.
Now, I'd hate to use my nightstick on you, buddy, but I guess I got no choice. Hey, ow! Ow, ow, ow!
Run, George, run! He can't hit you while I'm biting him. My teeth aren't what they used to be. Run, George, run! Help, Joseph, help!
Where'd they go, Ernie? Where'd they go?
I don't know. I'm getting out of here.
Ma Bailey's boarding house.
Well,
Mother?
Mother, what do you want?
Well, Mother, this is George. I thought for sure you'd remember me.
George who? If you're looking for a room, there's no vacancy.
Mother, please try to understand. Something's happened to me. I don't know what it is, but I need a place to stay. Please let me stay here.
I don't take in strangers.
I'm not a stranger. I know everybody. You know your brother-in-law, Uncle Billy.
You know him.
Well, sure I do.
When'd you see him last?
Well, today, over at his house.
That's a lie. He's been in the insane asylum ever since he lost his business. And if you ask me, that's where you belong.
Hey, where's the building and loan?
The what?
The Bailey building and loan?
Hey, honey, the building loan is gone, but
That's enough. Let's go.
I know every big shot in town. I know Potter and how you kicked off the police force.
Hey, that's Violet.
You again? Get out of here! Take a walk!
I'm here again, George.
Clarence, there's no building and loan. Bert didn't recognize me. If only Harry were back from Washington.
George, there is no Harry. Your brother fell through the ice and drowned at the age of 9.
That's a lie. Harry won the Congressional Medal of Honor. He saved the lives of every man on that transport.
Every man on that transport died. Strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many other lives. Harry wasn't there to save them because you weren't there to save Harry. Don't you see, George? You really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it all away?
Where's Mary? Please now, where's my wife?
You're not going to like it, George.
Where is she? I'll choke it out of you if I have to.
She's at the library. She works there. She's about to lock up for the night. I don't know. There's got to be an easier way for me to get my wings.
Mary! Mary!
I'm sorry, the library is closed.
No, Mary, it's George. I mean, don't you know me?
No, let me
Mary,
go.
please don't do this. We're our kids.
Get away from
Mary,
me!
please, I need you.
Help!
George, Mary! Clarence, where are you?
I'm here again, George.
Can you help me, Clarence? Just give me back. I don't care what happens to me. Just Give me back to my wife and kids, please. I want to live again.
Thank you, George. Thank you, Lord.
George? George? Is that you down there, George?
Now get out of here! If you come any closer, I'm gonna let you have it!
What in the Sam are you yelling for, George?
George, Bert, do you know me?
Know you? I've been looking all over town for you. Where have you been?
Bert, I'm alive again!
Are you sure you're alright? Your mouth's bleeding.
Is it? Hey, look at that, my mouth's bleeding! That's good, isn't it, Bert? Merry Christmas! Hey, Zuzu's bell, I had it in my pocket. Here it is! What do you know about that? Merry Christmas!
Well, Merry Christmas to you, George. Now get in the car, I'll drive you home.
Well, you do that, Bert? Well, let's just do that and turn the sirens open, okay?
You got it.
Merry Christmas, Bedford Falls! Merry Christmas, your beautiful old building and lawn!
Merry Christmas, George!
Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter!
Merry Christmas from jail!
Hooray, I'm home! Bert, come on in. Hey, wait a minute, what's all this? What are these people doing here? These are reporters. What are reporters doing here? Well, Merry Christmas, reporters! Merry Christmas, Miss Sank Examiner!
Mr. Bailey, there is a deficit.
I know, Miss Vance, there's $8,000 deficit, right?
I got a warrant here. I'm sorry.
A warrant? Hey, I'm going to jail! Isn't that wonderful? That's a wonderful thing. Merry Christmas. Where's Mary? Hey, look at this drafty old house. Have you seen my wife? Where's my kids?
Daddy, Daddy!
Kids, Petey, Janie, look at you. I could just eat you. Now, where's your mother?
She went looking for you, Daddy, with Uncle Billy.
Oh.
Daddy?
Oh, Suzu, my little ginger snap. How do you feel, huh?
Fine, Daddy, not a switch of temperature.
Oh, no, not a smidge of temperature.
George! Oh, George, darling!
It's Mommy! Mommy's home!
George, where have you been?
Mary, darling, are you real? I mean, you have no idea what's happened to me.
You have no idea what's happened either. Everyone's here.
Well, who's here? The police department? The FBI? What? I'd love to see him. I'm alive again.
Yes, darling, yes. You close your eyes and come downstairs.
Mary, what's going on? Can I open my eyes yet?
We're all ready, Uncle Billy. Come on in, everybody.
Isn't it wonderful? Mary did it, George. Mary did it. She told a few people you were in trouble, and they scattered all over town collecting money. You never saw anything like it. They didn't ask any questions. They just said, if George is in trouble, you can count on me. It's amazing.
I don't understand. What money?
When your friends heard that you were in trouble, darling, they started taking up a collection. This is for you, George. I'm sure that there is more than you need here.
Charlie! Hey, there's Mr. Gower. How are you, Mr. Gower? Huh? A Violet and Martini!
What is this, George? Another run on the bank? Here you are. Merry Christmas.
The line forms to the right. Mr. Gower, Merry Christmas. Mr. Martini, step right up now.
I have busted the jukebox too.
Mr. Gower!
I made the rounds on all my charge accounts.
Violet Beck?
I'm not gonna go, George. I changed my mind.
I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it weren't for you, George. Here you are. $242.
I've been saving this money for a divorce. If I ever get a husband.
Merry Christmas, George.
Merry Christmas, Mother.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Just a minute, quiet, everyone. Just quiet. A telegram from London. Mr. Gower cables you need cash. Stop. My office is instructed to advance you up to $25,000. Stop. Hee-haw and Merry Christmas. Sam Wainwright.
None of us would have a roof over our heads if it wasn't for you, George.
Well, gosh, this is wonderful. I don't know what to say except that thank you. Thank you all very much.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled.
Look who just flew in! It's your brother, Harry!
As soon as I got Mary's telegram, I came running.
Hey, Mary. Hey, everybody. What about a toast?
Yeah. Good idea, Uncle Billy. A toast to my big brother, George Bailey, the richest man in town.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and the days of old lang syne?
Daddy, my Christmas bell? You didn't forget it, did you?
No, it's right here in my pocket.
Here?
Yep. How about that? That's your bell.
Thanks, Daddy.
George, what's this book you have here?
Oh, that's The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Look, there's something written in it.
Oh, it says here, Dear George, remember that no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings. Love, Clarence.
Who's Clarence?
He's a dear friend of mine.
Look, Daddy, teacher says that every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right, Zuzu. Attaboy, Clarence. Happy landing!
And never brought to mind, should old acquaintance be forgot, and the days of old lang